Welcome, one. Welcome, all, to the SydStream 1.0. How's everyone doing? Let me just stop the music here. I'm excited for tonight's show. I hope everyone's doing well. Uh, First order of business. Whoops. Y'all can hear that. Let me stop that. Man, I am sorry for starting a couple minutes late. There are some things I had to take care of. I'm really excited for tonight. We did it, folks. We did it. Um, Something interesting happened on a Monday and a Tuesday. For those of you watching after the fact, I do these streams every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Whether you're watching live or watching the VOD, please give this stream a like. It helps me out a lot. And another thing I will say, if you're watching this after Wednesday afternoon, there should be timestamps in the description below. Hey, Evo, glad to see you here. Yeah, let me start with a little housekeeping. Damn, it's hot. I'm sweatier than I'd like to be, and it shows because the light's in my face. I am going to. I'm gonna do some changes because the one thing, as those of you who regulars to this show know, the lighting is new, but the lighting is kind of a bonus. Hey, Francois, the lighting is kind of a bonus for y'all. The real thing that I had been saving up for is this baby. I finally got my hands on an external hard drive. It's 2 terabytes, and like it is going to change everything for me and how I run things on my computer. I remember there's a YouTube channel called Theorea Apophasis, and it's I'll link to it below if you want. But he's like a storage geek, and he sensitized me to the fact that your workstation is not a filing cabinet, and a lot of people use their computers as a filing cabinet. So, now I have workstation, filing cabinet. But this doesn't change anything for you, hence why I went a little over budget for the new lighting here. And one thing that's going to change also is that I can kind of like record the entire show because sometimes chit chat that happens after I stopped recording a segment is really juicy and I want to include it, but the only way to do that is to download the entire VOD. So, yeah, let me just take a sip of water. I don't know. I don't know what. How can I say this? I don't know if this stream is going to go long or short. One thing is for sure. If I wrap up the things that I want to cover, I'm almost certainly not going to play Stardew Valley tonight. I will be taking a break unless I finish really early, which is always possible. Yeah, the the other things I wanted to cover aren't really relevant, so let's proceed. There we go. Let me prepare the first segment, which is kind of the warm up, and then we can get to what I really want to talk about. I'm really excited. Let me see here. And again, I've mentioned this many times before, but the 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 um, the thing with doing a weekly stream is that sometimes something interesting happens on a Wednesday. And yesterday, I was chilling at home on Easter Monday, and I noticed a video by Project Veritas. Now, a lot of they're, for lack of a better for lack of a better term, a very controversial channel, right? A lot of people have different things to say about them. Most commonly, they're framed as being liars. However, I wouldn't. I'd say one of the criticisms that they're absolutely on the hook for is to be accused of deceptive editing, clipping things out of context. I think that given the way they operate, by the very nature of undercover journalism, you're gonna get information under false pretenses. That's like the nature of it. So that part is good, but by publishing things with the spooky music and the clipping, it definitely opens them to these criticisms, which is why, and this is an aside, let me just find my tweet. That's odd. Usually Twitter advanced search is pretty good, but it's pretty recent. Let me just find this. There it is. Despite what I just said, I was still hesitant when I tweeted this the other day because I have people in my network who would be upset by me even sharing anything about Project Veritas. However, again, you can, no matter what you say about them, footage is footage is footage. So you could maybe, let me just put some audio here. There we go. Let me raise the volume for you. So yeah, the spooky music and shit like that. You can criticize that, but footage is footage. Like to say that this hasn't happened would be kind of silly, you know.
Pick up more bodies for
And
If you're an
despite
insider
that,
working near the southern border,
I
email
still
us at
felt hesitant
veritastips@protonmail.com.
because of the bad reputation that they have. Now, that having been said, when I saw this here yesterday, I was really excited because Project Veritas, man. Another thing I would consider valid about these people is that they're quite litigious. So if you, well, I don't know if litigious is the right word, but if if you're a news outlet and you say something about them, they're going to be very quick to point out some detail in what you said and demanded a retraction for that. And by the way, no matter what you say about Project Veritas, their retraction videos are hilarious. I fucking love cocky James O'Keefe. No matter what you think of him as a person, when he's all like puffed up from a victory, it's fucking brilliant. It's great content. So when a while ago, and I remember this, he cited some article in the New York Times, and when they refused to retract it, he said he was going to sue. And now, yesterday, I learned that the New York Times here. Oh yeah, this is from Project Veritas. So this can't be the most neutral source, but the bottom line is when they sued the New York Times, they filed a motion to dismiss, and that motion was thrown out. So it's going to go to trial, which is exciting for reasons that we will watch the video. Just so you know, I'm not going to watch the whole thing for all sorts of reasons, but just as a warning, when I play this, the stream might get a little choppy. However, it is still much better than it would be if I watched this on YouTube. So, with that, thank you for your patience, and let's begin. Let's make this a little bigger. Yeah. Okay.
James O'Keefe here, Project Veritas. We have won a historic battle in a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times and New York Supreme Court, not granting motion to dismiss against the New York Times. This is extraordinary. A lot of people are talking about it. Fox News, Daily Wire, Washington Examiner, Zero Hedge, even President Trump brought it up.
Congratulate Project Veritas on their big win on the New York Times. Now the suit will continue.
Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley saying he expects to, quote, teach the case next year in his own torts class when he deals in defamation. Now, many of you wondering, why is this such a big deal? Because to get past motion to dismiss in a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times is such a big win. Listen to this Canadian lawyer on YouTube tell you why.
The absolute state of defamation law in the United States is that it is a victory simply to be allowed to continue suing for defamation.
So much to tell you. We're going to take you through this judge's order, and we're going to give you the full details right now.
Okay, we're gonna watch a bit more.
This is the 8th time in more than half a century that the New York Times has lost a motion to dismiss without appeal. And we've learned this is the first case ever where the New York Times lost under New York's new anti-SLAPP laws enacted last year. Now, because we've won on this motion, we get to do discovery.
The decision by the state Supreme Court, which is a trial court, allows Veritas to take the depositions of relevant New York Times employees, which Veritas founder and President James O'Keefe said he would record and expose.
I mean, America, this is what you've been waiting for. Now we get to open up the New York Times' newsroom. They're the ones in the hot seat. Now we can shine a light into their practices and what they're doing under oath and videotaped. How did we do?
Yeah, okay. I think we've seen enough. So yeah, like having been a legalese geek for many years, Jesus Christ, my interest in the law and shit is what it's what led me to become a libertarian in the first place. But one thing that I was really aware of, one thing I've been aware of is the concept of discovery, which is, just to explain it to the layman out there, when a case goes to trial, basically everyone has an opportunity to look at all the evidence, which means the first time that I'm aware of, through the shenanigans, for lack of a better term, shenanigans, the actings, the behavior of Project Veritas and the New York Times refusing to admit to retract an article. Now, Project Veritas's lawyers have access to discovery. Now, of course, this is restricted to things that are relevant to the case, so we're not like going to see all the dirty laundry, but I am extremely excited to see what's going to happen about that. Like this is a case on the part of the New York Times of if you haven't done anything wrong, you have nothing to fear, you know, which in the abstract is absolute bullshit, but it's really how can I say this? I know that Project Veritas isn't exactly a small organization. However, compared to the New York Times, they absolutely are. So the notion of this really feels like a David and Goliath story. And yeah, I can't wait to see how it plays out. I would recommend watching the whole video. It's really fascinating. The basis of, and I'm summarizing from memory, but the basis of the Times' motion to dismiss was the fact that, according to them, Project Veritas's reputation is so bad that they cannot be further damaged by saying slanderous things about them. And that is precisely what the judge said. No. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things develop. If you would like to share your thoughts, please share them below. I'm really curious to know what you think. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And I do these streams every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you there. Great. Well, now the foreplay is over. Maybe you could try to drop the video quality. Yeah, like it's Frank, I appreciate the suggestion. I definitely thought of it, but the like smoother video that's lesser quality. It's that balancing act. This literally happened yesterday, so although I did consider it, I didn't have much time to deliberate, and I opted for, the standard quality, and the standard quality with a bit of choppiness. And again, on YouTube, it's worse. Hey, speaking of YouTube, I did some tests. It's funny, whenever I do a quick live stream test, there's always someone who shows up to watch, and I suspect it's the same person. If you're in the chat, please say so. I'd be really curious to know. But yeah. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is that with the lighting and everything, I also added a filter to the camera to make my my laptop cam look better than it actually is. I forgot to do this at the top, but I'd like to show you what it looks like. So this is with the filter. This is what my webcam actually sees. Filter, no filter. So yeah, it's a subtle thing, but it's like a free way to boost the visual quality just a little bit, and I like it. And that's part of the reason why the background is blue. With this particular filter, the blue really pops. So and other colors, they don't look nearly as good. So it's going to be this for a while. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Let me just prepare the other segment here. Oh man, I'm so excited. Oh, just to be clear to those of you watching, I am going to, in this segment that I'm about to film, I'm going to insert a bit, and I want to give myself the option of not including it in what I upload. So if you see me like just stop for no reason, then continue with what I'm going to do. It should be clear to you. And it'll be in the VOD, so, But through the magic of editing, if I don't like it, because I'm gonna do a paint stream, basically. This is definitely something that I can paint stream, and I might not like the result. Speaking of paint streams, the whole singing thing, that's over. It might come back, but I don't plan on it. So thank you very much for your patience. And yeah, let me see here. Let me put these in order. Oh no, I should have middle clicked. Like that. Boom. And my notes. Yeah, this I'll put. Okay, this should be enough. Okay, one last sip of water, and then we can go. You love the singing part? Okay, but it's more than just choppiness. The stream did briefly stop on your end. Maybe your bandwidth is a problem. I doubt the problem is bandwidth, Frank. The problem is definitely, well, with my money as a poker player, my money's on it's my CPU, which is like a much bigger problem than if I could just, up my ISP bill like I already have. All right. I'm glad you loved the singing part. There are ways to bring it back. Spoiler alert, it'll involve like having a lot more concurrent viewers. Although I appreciate those of you who are here, seriously. Especially you, Evo. I know I threw this at you at the last second. I've been doing this since January, so I wasn't sure if you knew or not. All right. Where is it? Yeah. This, again, this might take us just over 11, and if I wrap up first, it'll, yeah. Yeah, if I wrap this up before 11, we're probably just gonna chit chat a bit and then call it a night. No Stardew Valley tonight. Penny will have to wait, Dark Shady. I know you love her. And I know we have a baby on the way, another one, so we'll see. All right, Captain America. Oh, Captain America. That is one of the few series that I read that I'm up to date on. Every now and then I fall a couple issues behind, but right now I'm actually up to date. And when the latest issue of Captain America came up last Thursday, there was something in it that made me say, "Oh, geez," out loud. And I wanted to. I was initially going to talk about this in the opening show at Chit Chat. However, things have changed, and we'll cover that. So let's go right to the content in question, and I'll give more context later because I think it is important. So, let me read the caption bubbles. So let me guess, your brother, he disappears into the internet, and when he comes out, he can't stop talking about his new theory of the world. And that theory comes from one man, the Red Skull. Now, this is the part that made me say "oh geez" out loud because this is such a clear and obvious pot shot at Jordan Peterson, the 10 rules for life here. Other people caught the subtitle of his book is An Antidote to Chaos. I didn't catch on that, but this on its own and the fact that he's on some dude's laptop, that made me say "oh geez" out loud. I will read the rest of this page and then we can continue. Yeah, he did. It's the same for all of them. Young men, weak, looking for purpose. I found the flag. You found the badge. This guy's a cop. They found the skull. He tells them what they've always longed to hear, that they are secretly great, that the whole world is against them, that if they're truly men, they'll fight back. And bingo, that's their purpose. That's what they live for. And that's what they'll die for. I don't know why, of all people, I'm reading Steve fucking Rogers in this dark, sinister voice, but hey, I just went with it. So, again, when I read this, I like this is so obvious that when I had the opportunity to be in front of my computer, I immediately Googled. I immediately Googled Captain America Jordan Peterson because it was so obvious. And the only result that I got was for this subreddit where this was the only panel, which is a shame because as much as this is the clear offender, there's context around it making it even more obvious, and obviously the comments of people loving it and shit like that. So again, I was, gonna continue about my day, just bring this up at the beginning of the show and chat about it in passing. However, today it became a story because today, and thanks to Seth for tweeting this at Jordan Peterson, he became aware of this, and his first reaction was, "What the hell?" Yeah, what the hell indeed. Let's put an asterisk in that. And later on, he got these 4 panels here asking if this was from the same issue. And yeah, this sparked such controversy and such discussion that it became a story covered by a couple news outlets. So actually, let me just see here. Yeah, so actually, I think the best thing to do would be to at least skim over one of these articles. I'm not going to read both of these I'm not going to read all of these articles in full. They will both be linked to below. Yes, the America on my shirt is a nice synchronicity there. But let us skim through this article by the Opindia. It's some Indian site. I don't know anything about it. All I know is they were the first people to cover this that I was aware of. So let us see here. Let's skip to the second paragraph. The Captain America comic in question was written by one Ta-Nehisi Coates. That name, remember that name. An African American author. A user on social media shared the image of one of the pages of the comic while replying to Jordan Peterson on Twitter. According to those on social media, the concerned image is from the 28th issue of Captain America comic. That is correct. That is said like someone who doesn't read comics, which is fine. According to sources online, the Bible mentions Jesus. Yeah. The comic describes a conversation between Captain America and another individual. Red Skull can be seen on a laptop screen offering sermons on the 10 Rules for Life, which is an obvious jibe at Jordan Peterson, who has authored the popular bestseller 12 Rules for Life. Furthermore, Captain America's words leave little room for doubt that the Red Skull is based on the clinical psychologist. More on this shortly. Yeah, he's this. More on this later. So yeah, we already read this, so the summary of this doesn't really matter. Yeah. Peterson said after his initial "what the hell" reaction about the matter, "Do I really live in a universe where Ta-Nehisi Coates has written a Captain America comic featuring a parody of my ideas as part of the philosophy of the arch-villain Red Skull? The Marvel universe, which Captain America is a part of, has become increasingly woke in recent times, with politics invading entertainment spaces in the United States." I would love to discuss this more. I think I know what this refers to. More on that in a second. It is not the only one. It is not the only one which comics have become overly politicized, with Star Wars franchise and others traversing a similar trajectory. Now, here's the thing. I don't read all Marvel comics. There are a couple series that I really read. I won't get lost on another tangent on the mutants in Marvel. House of X, guys, check it out. Seriously, it's amazing. But but Captain America is, I've been following this for a while, and there's one take that I don't think enough people are talking about. who are on the side of, it's not cool that Ta-Nehisi Coates is throwing this pot shot at Jordan Peterson. Like, I know Eric July covered this today, in fact. And I know that Eric July, let me just, you might know him as Young Ripa 59 or something. Wait. Ripa. There we go. This guy. Whoops. So yeah, this guy, I've heard him say damning things about Ta-Nehisi Coates before. Apparently, his run when he was writing for Black Panther was terrible. I wouldn't know. I like Black Panther the character, but I don't read him. I have no choice but to take his word for it. And this, which he streamed today, was yet another example. Yet another opportunity for him to bitch some more about Ta-Nehisi Coates. However, one thing that I think is not mentioned, and I think it should be, this might just be me, but the actual comic book was pretty good. Not only that, the present arc that is taking place within Captain America, I'm enjoying it. And although this obvious pot shot at Jordan Peterson, which made me say, oh geez, out loud, yeah, this is bad. However, there is no context that would make this not a pot shot at Jordan Peterson. However, I still enjoy. I'm enjoying this arc. So just to put more context, and actually, let me bring up the page again, right here. Okay, so just to summarize without going into too much detail. So this police officer here, whose brother is in the hospital here, what's happening is Hydra and the Red Skull and these nemeses of Captain America, they are organizing a campaign to destroy the symbol that is Captain America, and not just like kill him, because we all know no one dies in comics. But even if we could, that is what's taking place. So what was happening that put that cop's brother in the hospital was, there was like a bunch of protests that were organized by a bunch of rivaling factions that were all like angry, and basically Steve got baited into showing up at that event, and he wanted to break up a fight, but he ended up getting caught up in it, and there were a bunch of bad people and Hydra people like filming it to use for like propaganda to actually attack Captain America the symbol, not Captain America the man. And this is what gave place to, near the end anyway, this speech, well, this rant here by this guy is actually the Red Skull. This is the Red Skull without his mask on, okay? And just to go on here, I'll try a German accent. Yes, all these men languishing amid American decadence and mongrel hordes, no more they shall find their purpose, as we all do, in sacrifice. And when the brightness of death itself shines upon them, then they shall see the true meaning of their vanishing lives. It's all happening now. The skeleton crew is ready. And in the capitals of America, the others are gathering. To his countrymen, Captain America speaks of dreams he does not understand. It's not the dream that moves men to the boldest of actions, but the nightmares. Show a man a world that might be, and for that he will give 10 lives, but threaten him, but threaten him with what he might become, and well, this man will take 100 more. For dreams men die, but for nightmares men kill. That's what he said in the following page. So this is like just an example of that arc, and I really enjoy it. But this is a good time to move on to another article that also covered this story. I was looking for I was looking for I was looking to shitpost my audience. Let me just refer you to the Mary Sue. Uh, Jesus Christ, and this illustrates a point that I want to make in a second. So, first of all, the the subtitle. Have you tried not being a Nazi? Hmm? This I don't want to read this all, but let me see if I can find some nice quotes here. Actually, no. I think the first paragraph will be good. Canadian. I'm gonna read it like a Valley girl, okay? Canadian psychology professor and alt-right mouthpiece Jordan Peterson is on the news again. For, for the most hilarious of reasons, the pundit, known for his misogynist, racist, and transphobic talking points, is furious over the latest Captain America comic books. Authored by the famed journalist author of comics, writer Ta-Nehisi Coates. Namely, Coates' vision of the classic Marvel villain Red Skull is inspired by Peterson himself. Let me just scroll this. We've covered this ad nauseum at this point. This is literally the Spider-Man pointing meme come into life. Coates' Red Skull employs the very same recruitment tactics of groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. You see, oh man, as much as I regret to point this out, this right here is a more valid point. And actually, you know what? I'll link to the full article below. But what this what's so fascinating about what they're doing with this, I think that the phenomenon that is being illustrated here it's a phenomenon that is happening. However, Jordan Peterson is not the only one, which is why in this where is it? Anyway, in the first article that we covered, why the notion that this was a copy of the Red Skull, that is very unsatisfying. It's very empty. I think that this could be said of basically anyone who appeals to the disenfranchised straight white men, and can pave the way to them eventually becoming alt-right. This is something that happens. And as a matter of fact, and I pointed this out today, let me just... If you're going to make a pot shot like this, I think Stefan Molyneux would have made a much better choice if you're going to personify someone, because and this might be the case for Jordan Peterson. Maybe it's just like these stories that I've heard that have a bias towards this, but I've heard multiple people cite Stefan Molyneux as the one who first red pilled them, and these people eventually went down the alt-right pipeline. So I just don't hear these stories as much with Jordan Peterson. And also, Stefan Molyneux, how can I say this? Stefan Molyneux has more nakedly wrestled with controversial points that are also liked by the alt-right. I think the notion that he's alt-right is ridiculous, but man, he has a lot of fascists in his audience. Like, wow, it's mind-boggling to me how many fascists Stefan Molyneux has in his audience. Like, for real. And I say this as someone who was in his community before the rise of Trump, and who saw the changes and the mutual radicalization between Molyneux and his audience, like in the Trump era. Yeah, I think that would have been nice. But this is yet another example of a broader phenomenon, which we'll cover right now. Even though I 100% agree about Molyneux being and making a better target, I doubt it would have generated as much of free marketing. Absolutely, that is true. Molyneux's already been cast out, so yeah. All right, let me set up the paint stream here. Won't be too long. I'm still here. Don't worry, folks. Okay. Just a few more seconds. Okay. Yeah. I much prefer this than writing. Let me just good. All right. Ooh, it's a good thing I haven't shared this yet. I forget this canvas that I use. No, I won't sing for you, Frank. How's this? When this stream hits 25 concurrent viewers, I'll sing for the paint stream. There we go. Tell your friends. All right, let me just do this. So, paint stream. All right. So let me just create my my palette really quick. I'm gonna need some red, maybe like that. Yeah, like that. Good. Some blue. Yeah, actually, this is good. And I don't want to use it, but just in case, some green. There we go. Okay, so this this reminded me of a phenomena. Okay, so let me just zoom out here. So there are 3 circles that I want to focus on. So there's the big one here. Oh, that's terrible. Let me try that again. There we go. And a smaller one like this, and a smaller one like this. There we go. So the so the big circle here is conservatives. We shall represent them with the elephant. I think it's like that. Actually, and whoops. There we go. And you know what? Just to complete it, I know the stars are upside down. Cool. So these are the Republicans now, or conservatives, sorry, symbolized by the Republican elephant. In this smaller circle here, we have fascists. Let me do this like that. We have fascists right here. And in the smaller circle, we have, of course, the Nazis. Right here. So, and I've alluded to this phenomenon before, like not all fascists are Nazis, and this circle here is what I have added because so much emphasis is put on fascists and Nazis that we kind of forget about conservatives. And this and other phenomena have made me realize that the reason that conservatives are frequently incorrectly called Nazis is because of this phenomena. So, what separates one from the other? Let me... okay, so there's what they believe, so... like that. And where's the line tool? Is that it? Yes, it is. Cool. And what do we do? Okay, so in this broader circle here, I think that for the purposes of this dissection, conservative and fascists, and technically Nazis as well, have one thing in common, which is things were better in the past. Let me, yeah, like that. Wait. If we turn back time, it's going the other way. Yeah, so like that, and let's put a big heart around it. No, this sucks. There we go. So things were better in the past. And before I continue, there's one thing that I want to point out. The whole not all. So, you know, it's a spectrum. You can have whoops. What did I just do? Oh, I selected white, that's why. What the hell? There we go. So yeah, just because, let me just, what I want to point out is that, you know, you're not necessarily 100% in these beliefs. So you can, the reason I'm pointing this out is because when people say that things are better in the past, things that people usually talking about, or sometimes, is things like race mixing. And LGBT. Right? So, as far as not all kind of refers to this, like not all conservatives believe that, you know, race mixing is bad, you know. I would say fascists and Nazis more so, but yeah. So conservatives, all of them believe this. The difference between conservatives and Nazis tends to be what we do about it. So on the side of conservatives, it's more education, preaching, you know, let's draw a guy behind a lectern here. That sucks. There we go. Like that. Let's give him a tie or something. And he's just talking, you know. Like that. And preaching and that kind of thing. Whereas fascists, they tend to lean more towards internal purging. Let me draw America from memory here, like that, the penis of Florida. This is America, okay? And they want to purge. This fire that I'm drawing here is spiritual, but often when you're talking about fascists, this purification will take the form of either killing or putting in bars or exiling or giving the boot. So like so conservatives tend to be more of the let's educate, let's teach them our values, things like that, and fascists would be more let's cleanse internally to solve the issue, so to speak. And fascists are like this too. However, the one thing that we must add for Nazis specifically is our good friends, the Jews. There we go. That'll do. So, yeah, this kind of illustrates. Let me zoom out even more here. Why it's easy for people who ignore nuance to conflate Nazis, fascists, and just run-of-the-mill conservatives. Evo, is the implication that conservatives have a monopoly on fascist and Nazi tendencies, as opposed to the idea that fascism or worse behavior patterns can also pop out of liberal progressive groups? Okay, what... It depends what you mean. Like the definition of fascist that I'm using would kind of only apply right of the center. So and just to summarize it, and I have a previous video of this where I covered this. Fascism is an ideology that that talks about how man has fallen from grace through degeneracy, and to solve this we must purge internally, and that tends to be reactionary, right of center. So that's why for me personally, if because another reminder of how we do things on this channel, you can't read people's minds. The best you can do is make informed guesses or deductive reasoning of what they believe, and you do that through consistent patterns of behavior, or you watch for red flags. So what I would do if someone in my network, I caught them making a joke that I considered was a red flag, or whether I caught a consistent pattern of behavior which led me to believe that they might be a fascist, I will tend to ask a very pointed question like, do you think being gay is degenerate? You know, most fascists are not dumb enough to answer honestly to that question, but just watching them struggle with that question will usually give a clue as to what they really think. So yeah, I think that, and I see your point, Evo. Like this part right here of purification, killing, imprisoning, or giving the boot. I can see these kinds of solutions, these kinds of what should we do to be, the far right, the far left as well. Absolutely. I see your point. However, I think I think for that you would replace things are better than the past with things are shitty in the past. I think it can map, but in this context, I'm really talking about conservatism, fascism, and Nazism. So another point that I've made before on this channel is that it is extremely no. Let me hedge that a little. you got to be careful who you call a Nazi, because a common trope that Nazis will say is, well, the left calls everyone a Nazi. And whenever you incorrectly label someone a Nazi, it gives credence to that meme. And I don't think that's a good thing. So when, is that the article that's highlighted here? That's why when people like Chelsea Steiner here say, "Have you tried like not being a Nazi?" And says things like, there was another quote that made me laugh. Wait. I think it's under here. Crap. There it is. I mean, these are literally your talking points, my dude, and things like that. It helps every time you incorrectly call someone a Nazi or a fascist. You make it easier for actual fascists, to hide amongst the edgy gamer bros and normal people. So that's really it. And as much as I think that this is a fucking cheap ass pot shot, I think the phenomenon that is described is valid. I think a lot of people know someone who, maybe not those watching here, but I think it's there are examples of this where some 21-year-old straight white dude feels disenfranchised, and the left is like woke scolding the fuck out of him, asking him to apologize for his whiteness, asking him to apologize for his straightness, asking him to check his privilege. And on the right, they'll just welcome him with open arms. And as it starts with the you should really work on yourself, and then depending on a bunch of factors, it can lead to, those trans people, they kill themselves a lot, must be a sign that they're mentally ill. And then next thing the Jews are secretly plotting to replace white men by importing massive amounts of brown people. What are you going to do about it? And I think the something we can do to hedge against that is to just be mindful of whether we're talking about run-of-the-mill conservatives, Nazis, or fascists in the middle. So yeah, that sums it up. That sums it up for me. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave your comments below. I'm extremely curious to know your thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. I do these streams every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. You could be here right in the chat, and I'd love to see you there. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon. Wow. I got a little rambly there, not going to lie, but I think it went well. I already made the thumbnail for this segment, so I'm uploading. I knew I was going to upload it no matter what. You can expect to see that segment as early as tomorrow, and it's going to be a challenge to edit, but I think it should be good. Let me just do one thing really quick. All right. Excellent. So that's it for the show. Thank you very much for still being here. Whoop, that's a little loud. So yeah, thank you very much for still being here. I really appreciate it. This lasted almost exactly an hour. So, yeah. I'll see you next week.